Welcome. In this lesson, I want to show you how you can easily set up a landing page without actually any coding. I'm going to be using a simple click and drag interface, and we are going to recreate a landing page that looks just like this. So let's just quickly review this page. On the top, you have the main section. So we have a headline, some content over here, and then the main call to action, which in this case is to ask for an email address. Scrolling down, we have a part where you can add three main benefits of the offer, whatever it is that you are giving away. Scrolling down, I have added a meet the coach section. So this is just a brief description about the coach, and then a second call to action. So if you click this, you will be taken to the top of the screen where you can enter your email address and then submit. So what you are going to need for this is you're going to need a WordPress installation. In WordPress, you will have to install the plugin called Elementor. This is the easiest way to design landing pages. So moving on, go to Pages, click on Add New. Now I'm going to give a title to this page. I'm going to select an Elementor canvas, and this is fine. Your dashboard will be a little bit differently because I'm using GeneratePress theme. That's why you will not see this content over here. Okay, so the title of my page will be Lesson Landing Page. Let's publish it. And now let's edit it with Elementor. So as you can see, we are starting with a blank canvas. So this is the reference for our website. So what we need to do, let's add the top section first. So this top section consists of a headline, some text under the headline, and then a form to add your email address. Let's add it here. Okay, so what we're going to do, there's one more thing. I'm actually just going to print screen this, and I'm going to open Adobe Photoshop. So I've opened Adobe Photoshop and pasted my screenshot. Now this is why, because I need the color structure of this website. So first things first, I'm going to set the background. So to set the background of this part here, I need the color. So I'm just going to use the color drop picker tool, and then here I have the color. Now you do not have to use Adobe Photoshop for this. You can actually use any editing tool that has the color drop picker option so that you can find out which colors are used. Or you can just pick a color that you find visually pleasing. So back to Elementor. I'm going to edit the section, and I'm going to set the background color. Now I'm going to change the color of the text. I'm going to make the color white, and the content as well. Okay, I'll make this form a little bit nicer. So I'm not asking for name, I'm not asking for a message, I'm just asking for email. I don't want there to be a label. And in the placeholder, I'll add something like enter your email address. Okay, so next thing, I'm going to limit the width of this main section to 900. I think 900 looks nicer. And I'm going to add some padding above the first element and below the last element. So I go to Advanced, and I'm here editing the section. Go to Advanced, and let's say 70 and 70. Now let's make this text a little bit bigger. So we go to Style Typography. Okay, a bigger text. Also, I think this content should be centered. And same here, let's center it. Let's make the text a little bit bigger. Okay. And then let's edit this part to make it smaller. So a simple way to do this is to add some padding to the sides. So let's say 250 to the right and 250 to the left. And actually I will also change this padding here so that the text isn't wider than the actual headline. Let's just say 60 and 60. Okay, I think that looks much nicer. So that is pretty much the same. The only thing which I can change is the button, because I think that the orange button looks nicer. So then I go to Adobe Photoshop. I check which color is being used. Let's copy it. Okay, so we go to Style, Button, and Background Color. Let's paste it. So that's the normal button color. Let's change the hover color as well. So I will just paste the same color and make it a little bit darker. So when you move your mouse over it, it changes color. So it looks like it's an actual button. Okay, so this is the first part. Next, we are going to add the features section. So to do this, let's add a heading. And then we also need to add a separate section. Let's say with 3 columns. And in each of the columns, I go back to the elements. And I will add an icon box. Okay, so let's change the color of these icons and of this as well. So firstly, we have the headline here. Let's change the text color to darker. And same over here. Let's go to Style. For the icon, let's change the text color. For the content, for the title as well. And for the description, I think I can make it a little bit darker. It will look nicer. So, okay, so this is our first feature. So let's copy this element and let's paste it here and paste it here. Let's center this text. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some spacing. I'll limit these elements to 900. And now I will add some spacing. Spacing is very important in your landing page design, because it makes the website look much nicer. Okay, so now I have 2 elements or 2 sections of the landing page. The next part that I'm going to add is the Meet Your Author section. So let's click here and add an inner section. And we can make it a little bit like this. Firstly, let's limit it to 900 as all the others. So we have 2 columns here. In this one, we're going to add an image. Okay. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger. And then in this section, we're going to add a headline or heading and some text. So for the heading, actually, I want to use exactly the same formatting that was used for this element. So we're going to click here, copy, and then paste style. For the text, I want to use the same color that I used here. So let me just check the color that I used. Here it is. So I will copy it, go to this element, click on style, text color, and paste. Okay, I'm not going to fill in the content here, but so that it looks a little bit nicer, I will just add some more. Okay, so let's add some padding again to the top and to the bottom. And now let's make the text maybe a little bit bigger. It will look nicer that way. Okay, and now let's add the final section, which was the second call to action. So let's add a little heading above the button, and then let's add a button. And once again, this is the way to edit the section, and I'm going to make it 900 wide. And I'm going to center the text and center the button as well. I'll make the button a little bit bigger. And I'll change the color of the button, or actually let's do the headline first. I will use this style again. So I'll copy it and paste style. For the button, I want to apply this color so that it looks nicer. And I can't remember this color. I think I have it here. Yes, in Adobe Photoshop. So I'll copy the color, scroll down, click on the button, go to style, background color, and paste. And click on tab. Here's my new color. I will also set how it looks when you hover over it, because at this moment it doesn't change any color. So the background color, let's paste it. Make it a little bit darker. Okay, now it changes so it looks like it actually works. And now for this section, I'm going to add some spacing. Click on advanced, padding. Let's say 50 and 50. And I'm going to add an anchor to this button so that when you click on it, it scrolls to the top. So we go back to elements and we find the element called anchor, menu anchor. So we click on it and drag it to the top. And let's give this anchor a name, such as, let's just call it top view. Actually, let's copy this, copy, scroll down, go to the button, content, and here when you've got the link, we're going to paste. So it's hashtag and then top view. Now, next thing that we need to do is all of these sections. Oh, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to add a different background color to this section. It will look a little bit nicer. So instead of using white, I will use some sort of gray. So let's edit the section. Edit the section. Go to style. Let's change the background color. Okay. Now, so we've got a dark background here, white background here, gray background here, and then white background here. One more thing which I do believe we had in this page was a footer. Okay, so let's add this as well. So let's actually just copy the text. So we're going to add another section. In this case, we're just going to add a text editor. And let's copy the content of the text. So paste. Let's center it. So this is a separate section. So once again, let's set up a 900 width of the section. Let's add some padding. Edit section, advanced. Actually, no, let's make it 30 and 20. And as this is a footer, I'm going to change the background, and let's just go back to Adobe Photoshop. And I'm going to use the same background as I used for the main section of the website. So edit the section, go to style, background type, color, and paste. Now let's change the text here so that it looks nicer. So we're editing this section. Let's click here. Style, text color. Okay, Let's make it a little bit gray. No, white looks better. And now let's update the website. Let's preview the changes. And here it is. You have just created a landing page. And when we click here, it goes right to the top. So what I have just done is I've just recreated this landing page. And it took me like 10 minutes. And what I like about Elementor is that literally there is no coding required. If you are interested in creating landing pages, sales pages, any type of pages that you like, then I highly recommend you try Elementor. I have been using it for quite a while and I haven't seen any tool that is either simpler or cheaper to use. You only need WordPress because Elementor is a plugin to WordPress, but it really is a very simple and quick way to create landing pages without any coding. So if you are interested, click the link below this video and check out Elementor. Good luck in your web design.